Hello Gemini, and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, looking at your recent past, your current energy, and your immediate future, answering the question, what do you need to know right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self to ultimately create the life that you desire and deserve. As I do in all of my readings, I've pulled the overall energy and clarified those messages, as well as the overall theme for the reading, which we'll jump into in just a second. But I still have the tarot deck I'll be using, the clarification deck, and the advice deck that I'll be pulling from to close out the reading in the extended. Any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading with me is in the description box below. Last thing, please remember that these are general readings. They are not here to resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and leave what does not. All right, Gemini, let's jump on in. In your recent past, you have the Four of Pentacles in reverse with seek healing. This is very much an energy of feeling as if the rug kind of got ripped out from underneath you in a way. Definitely dealing with instability of some sort, maybe financially, maybe emotionally, maybe just kind of in general. And I feel like this past energy is very much an energy of kind of healing, processing, working through some pretty uncomfortable things. Now, in your current energy, you have protection with judgment. So I feel as if the universe or spirit, your higher self, whatever spiritual connection of your own understanding that you connect with or resonate with, is trying to let you know that your path is divinely protected. And when the things that have not worked out, or the things that you feel you have lost, was the universe protecting you from what would have never been able to be what it is that you ultimately deserve and desire. And this judgment energy is very much about kind of seeing the truth behind the circumstances. Like, instead of focusing on what happened, kind of looking at why something might have happened, or what it's trying to teach you, or like really just how the universe is trying to actually guide you toward better, because I feel like that's absolutely what's happening here, because the overall theme of the reading is higher ground. And this higher ground energy, you think of looking at things from a higher perspective, from a different perspective. When we're living our life, it's so easy to get caught up on what's going on, and we forget that it's all about our awareness of the situation, of kind of taking a step back, zooming out, and looking at things from that 35,000 foot view of being able to say, okay, this is what's happening, but maybe I'm not processing it or seeing it exactly like I need to. And so I basically feel like what this is saying is that even if it feels like things aren't working out, I feel like they are in a way that's different than what you can currently understand right now. Now, in your immediate future, you have mystery with the Fool. So you're being led toward a new beginning, and it's a mystery, but it feels like it's almost like a surprise. Like the universe is like, we've actually got a surprise for you. When it comes to whatever is ahead, and it's a very positive one. And I don't know necessarily what that's in regard to. I feel like we'll get more clarity when we dive into tarot, but I do very much feel like this is kind of a trust the process, trust the journey kind of energy, which definitely seems to be the theme recently, especially the trust the journey, because I feel like right now, I don't know, I just feel like a lot of the energy is like experiencing blockages or setbacks or frustration or delays, and it's very much just kind of like trust the outcome, trust the process kind of thing. All right, Gemini, let's start by looking at this past energy of seek healing with the Four of Pentacles in reverse. What does Gemini need to know about this past energy? Temperance in reverse and the Devil. Okay. I feel, and then the Four of Swords in reverse. Oh my goodness. Okay. I feel like you definitely have had this attachment to how you felt you needed things to go. Feeling like you needed things to work out a certain way, or to happen by a certain time frame, or for things to play out in a certain way. And that didn't happen. And there's a lot of frustration and association with this because they feel like this Four of Swords in reverse kind of energy feels like I can't really take anymore. Like I can't take any more loss. I can't take any more failure. I can't take any more just in general. And I get that. I absolutely understand that. The Four of Swords in reverse is this energy of just feeling so drained, so burnt out, maybe even just like physically exhausted, emotionally exhausted. And when we're in an energy of things not working out, we can usually respond in one of two ways. We can respond to it out of fear, and that fear is, I'm never going to have what I need, I'm not good enough, I'm not capable, I'm not lovable, nothing ever works out for me. Or we can respond to it from a place of faith that says, I don't know how right at this moment, but I know that things are always working out for my highest good. I just have to trust the process. And whichever one you choose, however you choose to respond, is typically the reality that you create. Either one rooted in fear or one rooted in faith. So I feel like this is just that reminder that oftentimes, rejection or redirection is divine protection. And I feel like that's what this current energy is really about, this protection energy. So I don't know. I feel like, and I'm not saying you don't have a right to be frustrated, because I do definitely, you need to feel however you feel, and you need to know that your feelings are valid, your experience is valid, but it's always, it always makes it easier when we hold on to kind of that higher perspective, right? That higher ground perspective of, yes, this sucks, or this isn't how I wanted things to turn out, but maybe this is actually working out for the best, and I just don't know it yet. The more that we can hold on to that, the better we actually, things actually end up being in the end. But it's certainly not easy at all. All right, past energy for Gemini. What does Gemini need to know? Seven of Cups with the Two of Wands. So this is this energy of, obviously, this is trying to do what you feel is right for you. Like, I feel like, and obviously, right, no one ever goes into something and is like, I'm going to purposely make the wrong choice. And I'm not saying you did make a wrong choice, but I feel like in the end, whatever fell apart or whatever happened, like, it wasn't aligned with your highest good, in the sense of it wasn't capable of providing you with the happiness, love, fulfillment, success that you are ultimately deserving of. Meaning you are deserving of more than what the situation was capable of providing you. And I feel like something that kind of came through whenever I was shuffling just then was this image of like playing it small, or trying to shrink yourself to fit into a certain path, a certain relationship, almost as if you felt like maybe being afraid to take up space, or being afraid to really go after what it is that you desire. And I feel like that's why it didn't align with you, is it's almost like it didn't fit you. Like whatever, it's almost like if you had a dream and that dream didn't work out, it's because you need to dream bigger. Or if a relationship fell apart, it's because you need to realize that you were deserving of better. Like whatever it was, it just kind of feels like at one point maybe you were like, yes, this is the right path, I really think that, but then obviously things fell apart, and now in hindsight kind of looking back and being like, well, maybe I was playing it small, or maybe I wasn't seeing that I was capable of more or deserving of more, or whatever the case is, because our life is a reflection of what we believe we deserve, and sometimes we don't realize our true potential or our true power, or whatever the specific case might be for you. And I feel like this is the universe kind of getting you into a position of recognizing that whatever fell apart, or whatever didn't work out, or whatever you feel was taken from you, or whatever, it wasn't the universe taking from you the opportunity of experiencing what you desire. It was the universe saying, this isn't capable of being what you desire. There's a path that is available toward what it is that you desire. And I feel like that's what this new beginning is. But I also feel like that clarity is also going to come with time. Because sometimes, we settle for less than what it is that we deserve or desire, because we literally don't think that more is possible for us. but the universe will never allow us to settle where we're not meant to settle. But yeah, okay. Past energy for Gemini. It's like, and that's, I'm going to actually take this one, this Two of Wands. And that's like what I feel was a little bit confusing about this energy is I feel like you really thought this was the right path. And it turned out maybe not to be, or it turned out to be a little bit different than you expected. And I don't want you to look back on this and think like, oh, I made the wrong choice, or I did the wrong thing, or I wasted my time, or whatever it is, because you wouldn't know what you know now if you hadn't have gone through what you did, right? So sometimes, we never want to regret the choices and decisions we made, as long as we're willing to learn from them and to understand our role in why they didn't work out. But okay, past energy for Gemini. Two of Cups. Oh, no, Two of Cups in reverse, and then Seven of Pentacles. Okay, Eight of Cups in reverse. I feel like whatever this path was, again, relationship, career path, I don't know. I feel like you were very loyal and very committed to it. Like, I do feel like you did the best you could with this. And that then it didn't end up working out the way that you expected. Now, when we give a lot to something and it doesn't end up working the way that we expected, we often, because the first way we view every situation is through the lens of our fear, doubt, and insecurity. So I feel like you immediately kind of saw this as, this must mean I'm not good enough, or this must mean that, I'm not lovable, or this must mean that there's something wrong with me that made me, get to this place. And I feel like the universe is saying absolutely not. Again, this is divine protection here. Now, the Two of Cups in reverse is this energy of being disconnected from yourself in some way, like doing things that don't really align with what it is you truly desire, but maybe doing things like that align more with what you have been taught you're supposed to do or told you're supposed to do, but not that align with like who you are, like your genuine authenticity, your genuine desires. A lot of people, I would even go as far as to say the majority of people, live a life that aligns with the desires that they're taught to have instead of the desires that they actually have. But that's kind of what a spiritual awakening is all about, is kind of awakening you to realize that you are more than what society and your family and your indoctrination has taught you to be. Like, you are so much more than that, and kind of discovering that and aligning your actions with whatever it is that you're becoming. And that could kind of be what's happening here. There could be a little bit of an awakening that is happening because of this. Awakening to maybe understanding, actually, I want more than that, or I desire more than that, or I am capable of more. Now, typically, before we kind of get to the positive side of the awakening, we go through a lot of really rough feelings and emotions of, I'm not good enough. There's a lot of fear involved, a lot of insecurity, a lot of anxiety. And I feel like that's where the trust the process is really coming in play, because this Eight of Cups in reverse energy can be this energy of like feeling a little bit hopeless, feeling a little bit lost. And it's okay to feel lost sometimes. It doesn't mean that you aren't on the right track. It doesn't mean that things aren't working out. It just means that you aren't able to really understand what's going on. So I don't know. I feel like there's a lot more to why things happened the way they did than you might be able to really know right now, but I feel like that's going to be clear for you as you move forward. Current energy for Gemini, protection with the Judgment card. Current energy for Gemini. Whoa. This just feels like divine redirection towards so much better. Protection, redirection, whatever you want to call it. Ace of Cups with the Five of Swords. There is a lot of... okay. How do I say that? there's a very much a lack of like a defensive energy, a very much like a you against the world, a lack of trust kind of energy, a very survival mode driven energy. And I will say, survival mode is a product of our trauma, our hurt, things falling apart, things that are not very fair happening to us. And I feel like this is kind of that reminder that even when, because right now I feel like you have incredibly negative expectations of where you're headed. Like, I feel like the future seems very bleak or like dark or, the unknown, which causes you to expect things to go like wrong. And we have to remember that, even if we've been through a lot in our life, and I don't want to downplay what you have been through, but even when we've been through a lot in our life, that is absolutely no indication of what can happen moving forward. So, for instance, sure, maybe you've experienced a lot of failed relationships. That doesn't mean you can't have a successful one. You've experienced financial struggles. That doesn't mean you can't have abundance. You've experienced failure. That doesn't mean you can't have success. Like, we cannot look at our future through the lens of our past, because if we do that, we're actually going to recreate it. So that again, it comes down to mindset. And when we look at things from this perspective of, the universe is out to get me. The universe, always screws me over. I never, nothing ever works out for me. Like, you are actually, whether or not you realize it, attracting that energy back to you. This is about kind of tapping into a new or higher level of belief, higher ground, that basically says, I might be lost, this might suck, things might not be where I want them to be, but that doesn't mean they can't get good. That doesn't mean that things can't work out for me moving forward. Maybe I haven't experienced that, but that doesn't mean that it can't happen for me. And I think that that's where kind of understanding why things fell apart can really help with that, because when you look back and you go, you know what, I was playing it small, or I was accepting less than what I deserve, or I didn't think it got any better than that, even though I desired more. When we look back and we start to understand those things, we stop looking at what has happened from this place of like, the universe is out to get me, and we start looking at it from this places of the universe is supporting me, even if I don't really know where that's leading me. And that shift in perspective, that shift in mindset, that shift in approach can drastically change your results. Your life is a reflection of your perspective. It's a reflection of your beliefs. And it's funny, there's a 10 of cups. And I think that, we don't even sometimes realize that the reason things aren't working out is because we deserve better. We often think, oh, things aren't working out, that must mean they never will, or that I'm not good enough for them to work out. So I feel like this is allowing, surrendering to kind of what you're going through and allowing the universe to take you to a new beginning. Because I do feel like the universe kind of has a surprise for you as you move forward. I've got this message before. I don't remember what sign it was for or when, but all right, current energy for Gemini, the like surprise thing. So it might have been Gemini, but I'm not sure. What else does Gemini need to know about their current energy? So I get why you feel the way you do, but the universe is kind of asking you to open up, to try to see things through a higher perspective, a higher ground perspective. King of Pentacles in reverse with the Knight of Wands. Ooh, there's the Hierophant in reverse, which is a need to shift perspective. And then there's the Wheel of Fortune. You don't have to be, okay, how do I say this? Your circumstances can always change. When we are in certain places in our life, especially if we're in places that don't align with where we want to be, we always have this tendency to think that our circumstances are permanent. We're like, oh, this is always how they're going to be. I'm always going to be broke. I'm always going to be alone. I'm always going to lack. And the cool thing about being a human is though your circumstances can literally change at any moment for the better. But the problem with it is if you don't believe that they can, you won't experience them changing for the better. And it's even more difficult because if you haven't experienced the good that you deserve, it's going to be hard to believe in the good that you deserve, which is why healing and manifestation go hand in hand. Because when you start to, heal and view what has happened to you from a different perspective, you start viewing your future through a different lens. When you allow your trauma to take the wheel, you will always be, trying to protect yourself from what could go wrong, or coming from a place of fear and anxiety naturally, right? Your nervous system is going to be, how can I protect you from things going wrong? But the shift in mindset, the shift in perspective of everything is happening for me, not to me, even if I don't understand right now, can take you to such great places. And I say this because I've been there. I've gone through phases of my life where things were falling apart, and I sat there and I was so angry at the universe because I couldn't understand why things were happening the way that they did. I felt like I was on the right path, that things were finally working out, and then everything, like my life just kind of got ripped from me right in front of my face. And I spent a really long time thinking that that just meant that was a sign that things were never going to work out for me. And luckily, I was able to kind of crawl myself out of that space and drastically change my life and turn it into something that I never even imagined I'd be able to live the life that I have now. But it was a result of me believing that the good was possible. And when we give up on believing that things can change for the better, we will never experience them changing for the better. It's kind of like keep the faith, but and then some. Because you have the Wheel of Fortune. The universe is saying, actually, things are working out for you. This was divine protection. Your path is protected. What you desire is protected. So lean into believing that, and you'll start to experience that, which isn't an easy thing to do. So I'm not saying you're dumb for not doing it. But from experience, I certainly know it can help. Because again, your perspective is everything. All right, what else does Gemini need to know right now in order to move forward in alignment with their higher self? Ooh. Things fell apart because this wasn't where you belong. Because again, and it goes back to, there's the Six of Cups. The past wasn't where you belong. It's like, when we're trying to fit into something, we are by definition not belonging, right? Because if we're trying to fit in, that means we're trying to change ourselves in order to be good enough or to be what we think we need to be in order for something to work, which oftentimes means making ourselves smaller. And I feel like that's what this is about. It's like you were shrinking yourself or making yourself smaller, shrinking your dreams or shrinking your expectations for the sake of something. And the universe was like, Gemini, absolutely not. Because again, the universe will not let you settle where you are not meant to settle. So it's not that, and I feel like this is all about finding where you belong, like finding better places, finding the people that see you for who you are, that love you for who you are, that, will make you feel the way that you were looking for these situations to make you feel. So you haven't lost an opportunity to experience all the things you wish to experience, okay? That opportunity is not behind you. It is still very much ahead of you. So try to believe that this is all happening for a reason and for the better. Because I do absolutely believe this is happening for you. Like, even just looking at these cards, it's like, especially the protection and judgment. Like, that's the truth. The truth is this divine protection. So you have mystery with the Fool. What does Gemini need to know moving forward? What is this mystery? Mysterious new beginning. Like an unexpected new beginning. Or like this is good though. It always happens when you least expect it. Whatever it is, it always happens when you least expect it. And I feel like that's what this is about. It's like it happens when you least expect it. Okay, what does Gemini need to know moving forward? The Star, the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, and the Wheel of Fortune. This is crazy because this is literally like what I just said. It happens when you least expect it. Because the Knight of Pentacles in reverse is this energy of the energy moving so slow that it feels like it's not happening at all. And then obviously this Wheel of Fortune, things moving in your favor. You have the Star, which is like, I don't know, the way that I see this is like a spark, like a twinkle, like a yeah, the star isn't necessarily, the star is what leads to the Wheel of Fortune. It's like holding on to that spark of hope, that like little twinkle of light, like following that and letting it take you, like believing in the possibility that things can get good. And then, yeah, I feel like it starts to happen for you when you least expect it, which is really cool because I feel like you deserve this. Readings this week I feel like the energy has been a little bit tough this week, and I've definitely felt that because I've just been feeling a little bit more drained. I feel like everyone is. I feel like right now everyone's just like tired of it. Just tired of it. Especially with just like everything going on in the world. It's just it's a lot. And I feel like it's really easy to get caught up in all of the things that are out of our control. And I think that this is the universe kind of saying you need to trust that even what isn't within your control is being taken care of. But yeah, I do. I feel like it happens when you least expect it. Because I said it felt like a surprise, right? I don't know what it is, though. But it's all going to be dependent on your perspective and the way that you move forward. This energy that you're in. It's like finding where you belong, finding your people, finding your place, finding your purpose. I don't know. All right, what else does Gemini need to know moving forward? High Priestess. Six of Wands in reverse. Nine of Swords and Three of Swords. Okay. So, this is kind of the energy I feel like you're dealing with, which is causing you to really not have much hope. Like, there's a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, a lot of, like, heartbreak, pain. And the universe is saying, try to understand that those feelings that you're having are not your intuition. They're not your higher self. Your higher self is trying to tell you this, is trying to speak positivity into your life. This is, things are working out for you. You're supported, you're guided. But then the experience of pain and the anxiety, the mind, the stuff in the mind is caught. Like, I don't feel like you have any hope for things to get better or to get to where you want to go or to get to where you want to be. I don't know. And just know that that's not, I have to be careful when I talk about it. It's not that your feelings aren't valid, but we cannot believe everything we think and feel, right? Because if we get so caught up in everything we think and feel, we're going to be 100% driven by what's in our mind, which is where our fear lives. It's where our anxiety lives. It's where our insecurity lives. And we have to learn to be driven by love. And love is something that comes from a little bit deeper within, actually, when we quiet the mind. And it's this understanding that you are deserving, you are supported, you are loved, you are valuable, you deserve good things, regardless of what your experiences have taught you, have told you. Like, that isn't a reflection of what's possible for you. That isn't a reflection of what can happen for you. So I'm not saying disregard how you feel, because we always have to work through and process how we feel. But we also need to understand that there are so many aspects to our existence, and it's not just, this is what I think, this is what I feel, therefore this is truth. It's, you have thoughts, and you have feelings, and you have an intuition, and you have a consciousness, and you have an ego. Like, there's so much in there, and you kind of get to choose which one you lean into. So have the anxiety, feel the stress, feel the fear, feel the pain, feel it all. You gotta feel it to heal it, okay? Feel it all. But don't believe it. Believe in like more than that. That there's more to life than that. Which can be really hard to believe when you've experienced a lot of that for a long time. But yeah, I feel like the universe has a surprise for you. I feel like it's on the other side of working through a lot of what you're working through right now. So keep the faith. That's what the theme of this week's reading so far. Keep the faith. All right. What else does Gemini need to know moving forward? Or this round of readings, I should say. Does Gemini need to know moving forward? And I feel like this High Priestess is also very much like this energy of you're guided, you're supported. Whoa. 10 of Pentacles. The Emperor. Is that in reverse? Yes, the Emperor is in reverse. You're not alone. The Emperor in reverse is this energy of feeling like you have to control everything. You have to have all the answers. You have to see the path. You have to know the end result. And the universe wants you to know that you don't. Any of that. You don't need to know everything. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to know. All you need to know is that it can happen. Or all you need to try to believe is that it can happen. And understand that your belief is like what you truly believe is going to be a product of the repetition of what you tell yourself, of how you perceive your life. So I'm not saying you just like switch your beliefs like that. It's not easy to do. But the way that you speak to yourself, the way you speak about your reality, the way you speak about your future, all of those things, like you're listening all the time. Your subconscious is listening all the time. And 95% of our movements, choices, and decisions, it's like 90 to 95%. Psychology shows of our movements, choices, and decisions stem from our subconscious. And only 5%, 5 to 10% of the way we interact with our reality is conscious level decision making. So understand that your subconscious, which is where your limiting beliefs lie, and all the things that we've been kind of talking about, the fear, the anxiety, the insecurity, like you can't listen to that. You have to actively try to listen to believe to the belief or create the belief that you're supported, you're guided. This is happening for me, not to me. I don't need to know how yet. I don't need to know what it's going to look like. But look at this. The 10 of Pentacles. It's like this happens when you least expect it. And the universe is like, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. So let it be good. And let it be a surprise. You know, I've often learned that the universe actually, will keep things from us. You know, we'll look for answers in tarot readings, or we'll try to predict the future. But sometimes the universe doesn't want us to know, because it's like we want it to be a surprise for you. I don't know. I feel like that's what this is about. It's like the universe has a surprise for you. Spirit has a surprise for you. And it happens when you least expect it. It's good. I mean, look at that. Wheel of Fortune, High Priestess, 10 of Pentacles. Like, I'll take that I'll take this energy any day. So hold on to that faith. All right, Gemini, thank you so much as always for your support of my channel. I do obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, Gemini, I wish you nothing but love and healing and all of the wonderful things that you deserve on your journey moving forward. Bye, Gemini.